Hey, it's Tycoon with StockMarketInvestingToday.com. Today I wanted to start talking a little bit about how to narrow down the stocks in the market to find potential candidates to buy. We've already talked about determining market direction, and if you recall, that's the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that the market is in an upward trend because it's been documented that 3 out of 4 stocks follow the trend in the market. So if you invest in a down market, then you're going to be struggling against the overall trend, and it's better not to do that. So assuming the market's in an uptrend, then you're going to want to try and start creating some watch list of potential candidates that you can um, review. Question is, how do you go about doing that? Now, I have a subscription to the Investors Business Daily, which is, depending on how you buy it, a couple $100 a year, maybe $250. It's a great paper, and it does identify stocks in the course of the paper. But if you're wanting to create a watch list and follow a system, just where do you start? So I did some research, and I found a guy named ChrisPeruna.com. Sorry, Chris, if I mispronounced your name. And he talks about some screens and some scans that he uses. Now, one of the things about screens and scans is, or when you get into investing in the stock market, there's all sorts of different tools and services and newsletters that you can purchase. All of those cost quite a bit of money, anywhere from $50 a month to, I think the daily screener that he uses, he says he pays 45 for it, but I think you have to buy the whole Daily Grass equity package, which is around 1,000 a year. So um, what I thought would be helpful is to try and see if you can get around paying for a lot of those extra services. It might take you a little more time to do the job, but once you start to increase your investment capital, then it might make more sense to pay for a lot of different services. Now, in his case, at chrisperuna.com, if you go down the sidebar here, he has a post called Fundamental Screens and Scans. That's how you find it. And in it, he talks about how he uses the custom screen wizard at dailygraphs.com, and he has set up 8 different potential screens here to bring stocks onto his radar. And um, what I wanted to do was take one of them here and show you how you can do it without using the screener. Now, one of the nice things that he has done is that if you do use the screener, he's giving you the exact settings that you want to put in. And I tried them and they worked correct. So what I did this by hand, and then I used the screener and I came up with the same set of stocks. So here we're going to look for quality stocks making new 52-week highs. And how you go about finding those, you go to investors.com and you go to your subscription and you go to the EIBD. Now I use the web-based version, and sometimes you got to click over here. Now you're going to find the stocks making new highs. Actually, you're going to have to refresh that. And this particular edition of the paper, it's in the Making Money section, and it's on the first page of Making Money. So I usually close out the table of contents, and if you scroll down here, you're going to see the stocks 52-week new highs and lows. So what I do, you can double click the title of the article and that'll zoom it in a little bit. And so we can see a little bit better, and you'll see here 52-week new highs and lows. So you'll notice here that on his screening, the first screen he says is the EPS rating from 70 to 99. So here, these stocks in the last column have EPS, and they have, like this one here, this is an EPS of 4. So it's not over 70. So this here is not a candidate. This one's 37. Same thing, not a candidate. Here's 177 DEP. Here's one. This one's 99 in RGP. And what I did, I made a quick list off of this, and today there were 21 stocks on this list that were new highs. So on my notepad, I just wrote them all down. Um, then after that, the next criteria that he uses is relative price strength, 70 to 99. So the way you can go where you can find that is if you go back to investors.com and you go under stock research to IBD charts, it'll bring up the graphing feature, the charting feature of the IBD. And then what I did is I put each stock in here, starting with DEP, and check the relative strength rating, and I can see here that it's over 70. And while I was at it, the next screen was 52-week high, which is true, that the average daily volume is over 100,000. The last one we'll come back to. And you'll notice here that the average daily volume for this stock is 124,600. And so that one meets the criteria, so I just noted that. If it didn't, I just exited out and I knew I was done with that stock. The next one was NRGP. So I did them all like this to get the relative strength and the average daily volume. And once I had those, then I had a list that I could check to see if the last criteria was met, and that's the stock's daily volume was 15% higher than before. So how you go about finding that is you go back to the home page of investors.com, and you over here where it says get a quote, and so I put DEP, and what that'll do is bring up the quote, and you'll see over here it says volume percent change 78.97. So in this particular case, this one was over 15%. I went through all of those stocks and checked their criteria. I ended up with 7 stocks for the day that that satisfied that screen. Then what I went in and did was I went to the custom screener that he uses, the custom screen wizard, and I entered the same criteria he did. I got the same 7 stocks. So it takes a little more time, not a whole lot. It's a little easier just to do the screen, but it's cheaper than paying $112 a month. One thing that you'll notice when you're in the IBD and you go to this new highs, new lows section, that down here you'll see that this doesn't list all of the new highs, and there's a little continue down here, and you want to click that to make sure that you get them all until they're all done. Just make sure you don't include the new lows. Once you've done that, then what you do is stick those into a watch list, and you'd want to get them for further review. Anyway, I hope that helps. This is Ty Coon with StockMarketInvestingToday.com. Have a great day.